So today we're going to talk about simplifying complex radicals. Let's understand this title a little bit better. A complex number is the letter I. Complex is I. Please write that down. A radical is this symbol. What do you guys know this symbol to be called? Square root, okay? So you guys probably heard this being called the square root. This unit, we're going to be calling it radicals as well. Those names are interchangeable. Okay, so we're going to be simplifying these things. So for example, let's simplify this one. What is the square root of 25? 5. This is us simplifying it. What is the square root of 4? 2. The square root of 49? 7. Now, if you're lost, the reason why these are the answers is because 7 times 7 is 49. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 5 is 25, okay? Now, can you find the square root of negative 9? Meaning, what number multiplied by itself will give you negative 9? Nothing. Okay, let's try it out. 3 times 3 is 9, correct? Not negative 9. Negative 3 times negative 3 is what? 9. Not negative 9, right? So there is no number multiplied by itself that will give you negative 9. Okay? So what we're going to do in this case is this is not part of the real numbers. This is not going to be on the number line. Square root of a negative number is not a part of the real numbers. They are imaginary numbers. That's what the I stands for. And it is represented with the letter I. Now, a few definitions. I is equal to the square root of negative 1. So guys, let's go back and try to solve this one. The square root of negative 9 can also be written as the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 9. Okay? And what did we just say that the square root of negative 1 is? What did we just say over here? It's just I. So this is I, and what's the square root of 9? 3. So your answer is just 3I. So let's make sure we understand this point. What is the square root of 64? 8. Now, what if I stick a negative in here? What do you think the answer will be? 8I. Just like this answer, the square root of negative 9 is 3I. Okay? What if I do the square root of 81? What is that answer? 9, but if I put a negative under the radical, what will it be? 9I. Square root of 100 is 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. If I put a negative underneath the radical symbol, 10I would be your answer. Make sense, guys? Okay. All right. And one last definition, I squared is equal to negative 1. Okay. So let's do some example problems, okay? Now, notice we don't know what the square root of 75 is, right? These are the square roots that we know. We know the square root of 4. We know the square root of 9. We know 16, 25, 36, 49. What's next? 81 and 100. We know these. Do we know 75? No. So we're going to have to break this down. Can you guys give me 2 numbers that will give me 75 if you multiply them? 25 and 3? Perfect. Everyone write that down. 25 times 3 is 75. Okay, now let's continue breaking down these numbers. Can you guys give me 2 numbers that multiply to 25? 5 and 5? Perfect. So we broke down 25, cross out 25, and we're breaking it down into 5 and 5. Can we break down the 3? Can we break down 5 smaller? No. Okay. So this is as small as it will get. So what I'm gonna put is 5 times 5 times 3 is 75. Yes, we did learn this in algebra. Okay. Next step. Circle your pairs. Here is a pair of 5s. Cross it out. One will go outside. Just one of them. So your answer is 5 square root 3. Let's. Okay, so 48. Can you guys give me two numbers that can give me 48? Okay, I heard 6 and 8. You can do any two numbers. Let's break down 6. 3 and 2, thank you. Let's break down the 8. 4 and 2. Which one of these can be broken down? 4 can be broken down into 2 and 2. Okay, so we broke it down into the smallest parts. We're going to put these under the radical. Okay, now let's look at some pairs. Here is a pair of 2s. Cross it out. One of them will go outside. Here's another pair of 2s. Cross it out. One of them will go outside. Now we multiply. The outside numbers, 2 times 2 is 4, and then you're going to multiply the leftover inside numbers. Well, there's only one number here, so it's just 3. If there were some other numbers in here, you would multiply them, okay? Yeah, if they weren't a pair. So let's just say, for example, there was a 5 in here. It would be 15, okay? So you would multiply the inside numbers. All right, now let's not forget, let me highlight this for you. You guys see this 1/2 that was in the outside? Let's not forget to put a 1/2 on the outside. So everyone put a 1/2 on the outside. Okay, now what is half of 4? 2. So your final answer is just 2 square root 3. Numbers on the outside will stay on the outside. Let's try number 3. Oh, guys, look, this is part of my list. I know what the square root of 49 is. What is it? 7. So this is just 7i. The square root of 49 is 7. Because 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, next one. I need two numbers that multiply to give me 72. Yep, 9 and 8. That works. You're going to do 6 and 12. You can also do that. You'll get the same numbers in the end. So let's break down 9. We can do 3 times 3. And for 8, we can do 4 times 2. And then let's break down this 4. That's 2 times 2. So all of these will go under the square root symbol. All right, so circle your pairs, cross it out. One of them will go outside. Here's another pair. Cross it out. One of them will go outside. So we're going to multiply what's outside and multiply what is left over inside. So 2 times 3 is 6. On the inside, we have just a 2. If there was another number, we would multiply it, okay? Now, remember, we had a negative in the original problem. So what do I need to put on the outside? I. Now, you could put it in the back. That would be correct. But I advise you to put it in the front because I see a lot of students extend this and put it underneath, and that would be wrong, okay? So just so you don't make that mistake, to be safe, just put it in the front. The I is not under the square root symbol. It doesn't matter. Oh, I've never seen it written like that. It normally comes after the real number. Yeah. Okay, next. Let's break down 20. What two numbers will multiply to give you 20? 10 and 2, I can take that. If you said 4 and 5, that is also fine. Just continue breaking it down. Let's break down 10. 2 times 5, perfect. So this is completely broken down. So 2 times 2 times 5 will go inside of here. Oh, and guys, don't forget, let me highlight this for you. There's a 3 on the outside. Meant to highlight it. There's a 3. I keep scratching it out. Okay, there's a 3 on the outside. Don't forget to put that on the outside, okay? Don't ignore it. So I'm going to put a 3 on the outside. Okay. So circle your pairs. Cross out the pairs, put it outside. So we're going to multiply. We have a 6 and square root of 5. Now remember, we have a negative. So what should I put? An I. So this is your answer.
So if you put like a negative inside of that, it would be wrong.
Yes, this is not -6. You wouldn't put a negative there, no. Okay, so I'm going to pause here. Let me get your attention back real quick. As you guys start practicing, I get a lot of these questions. What about the square root of 100 times a half? Well, guys, what is the square root of 100? 10. And what's half of 10? So that's the answer. Because the square root of 100 is just 10. If you want to do it the long way, you can. So you can do 10 times 10, break it down, 2 times 5, 2 times 5. So all of these go under the square root symbol with the half on the outside, right? Now let's look at your pairs. Here are a pair of 5s. Cross it out. One of them goes outside. Here's a pair of 2s. Cross it out. One of them goes outside. So I'm going to multiply the outside. This is 10 times a half. Well, half of 10 is just 5. All of these pairs canceled out, so there's nothing under the square root symbol. That's gone.
Yeah, they did it the long way. That's why I was asking.
Also, another question that I saw, which was a great question, was the square root of -30. Let's break it down, guys. Two numbers that give you 30. 5 and 6, okay? Let's break down 6. 2 times 3. So under the square root symbol is 5 times 2 times 3. Any pairs? Oh, it didn't simplify. So it just stays square root 30. Now, I do have a negative, so what do I need? An I. So this is your answer. It did not simplify. Any more questions, guys? Any problems you'd like me to do on the board? Okay. I saw a question about this one. Negative square root of -28. Okay. Can y'all give me two numbers that give me 28? 7 times 4. Can we break down 7? No. Can we break down the 4? 2 times 2? Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to rewrite this as a negative on the outside. On the inside, I have 7 times 2 times 2. Here's a pair. Cross it out. I'm going to put it outside. So my answer is -2 square root 7. Now, one more thing. If my original problem has a negative underneath the radical symbol, I need an I in my answer. Okay? Okay, can you read me number 12, please? What? 175. Okay. Can y'all give me two numbers that multiply to 175? What? 35 times 5? Okay. Let's break down 35. Two numbers. 7 and 5. Perfect. Okay. So I will have 2 square root of 7 times 5 times 5. Now, guys, remember, I have a negative under the radical symbol, so I'm going to have I in my answer, okay? Here's a pair. Cross it out. One of them will go outside. So, on the inside, I'm left with a 7. On the outside, I have 2 times 5, which is 10. So this is your final answer. Yes.
Fractions that have,
Okay, you said negative 1/4?
yes.
Square root of 81. Okay, what's the square root of 81? 9. It's just 9. And then I'll just bring the rest down, negative 1/4. Now just multiply. If it helps you, turn this into a fraction as well. And you just multiply across. So negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. 4 times 1 is 4. So this is your answer.
Plus I.
No I. You only have an I if there was a negative. There's not a negative underneath the radical. So there's no I in this problem.